Alright, welcome back, FastWilly fans. You are here for the final Poptart Mukbang. Yes, this is number 7. We've made it 28 days, starting with a 3-day fast into my first mukbang. We did that 7 times. This is the last day of my 28-day challenge. If you're new here, I've been doing a 28-day challenge where I fast for 81 hours and then eat 10,000 calories in one day as an experiment to see where my body will be at the end of 28 days. I have done the 3-day fasting cycle all 7 times. I am at the end of my challenge. I'm so excited to be here. We have the finals of the Poptart playoffs. We have been doing a Poptart mukbang every 4 days where I eat Pop-Tarts, talk to you about the Pop-Tarts I'm eating, take some questions from the viewers, and maybe even teach you a little bit of something about food and nutrition along the way. Let me get to my chat here. Liam says, let's go. All right, let me just tell you something that's going on here. I don't have enough flavors to do a full Pop-Tart today, or do a full Pop-Tart mukbang today. So I'm gonna start today with a new flavor. This is a flavor, frosted chocolatey churro. This is a flavor that I would have loved to have in the mukbangs earlier to have a chance to get into the playoffs, but unfortunately I couldn't find them. I normally shop at Market District. They didn't have them. I was given a tip by a FastWilly fan that they have them at the Imperial Shop and Save. So I made a trip to Imperial specifically for these chocolatey churro. I'm going to give them a try and we'll see how they are. This morning I woke up and I got my final weight, I got my final measurements, and I took my after pictures. So I'll be posting a 28-day recap with John in the next few days that are going to have my weights, they're going to have my measurements, and they're going to have before and after pictures. Welcome in, Sally. We're trying a chocolatey churro flavor Pop-Tart to open up this round. We're going to start on the 3rd slide. Is going to be the final 4 of the Pop-Tart mukbang playoffs. Pretty good. If you've been following along, you know I like the chocolatey flavors. These have a little bit of, you can taste the chocolate, you can taste the sugar. It tastes kind of like a chocolatey churro. It's pretty good. Fiona wants to know how I feel now that I'm at the end of my 28-day challenge. I feel good. I'm excited to move on from this. I don't like to eat Pop-Tarts that much. I've enjoyed this process, and I'm very grateful that everybody has joined along and followed this. It's been an opportunity for me to learn a little bit about how to be in front of a camera and how to edit film going into more videos on the FastWilly YouTube channel in the future. So I really was able to take this time as a learning experience. So in the end, how does my body feel? My body feels good. It always feels good after a 3-day fast. But I'm looking forward to new challenges. So I appreciate everybody being here with me and helping me get to the next step. Churros are so good. I want to try this one. Kieran, I got one just for you, bud. Alright, I want to say this is a pretty good flavor. I would not have it up with some of the better chocolate flavors, which we're going to see later on in this mukbang. It's pretty good though. I'll give it a solid score. It's not like, oh, I want to avoid that one. It had a really strong flavor the first bite that I took into it. I was like, oh, that's kind of, that's interesting. but it got better. Definitely worth a try. Some people don't want to be knocked up, you know, it's like, oh, I'm a brown sugar cinnamon person. I just want to eat brown sugar cinnamon, that's fine. If you're like afraid to get out of your comfort zone and try different Pop-Tarts, I wouldn't try this one. But if you're curious and like having a Pop-Tart that might not be your favorite won't ruin your day, then maybe maybe a chocolate churro is the way to go. Fiona wants to know, so after this, are you starting the Viome challenge tomorrow? Fiona, third slide when I start the playoffs, and we're going to talk about what I'm getting into next. I'll explain to everybody what's going on, when it's going to start, and where they can find more information on it. This is good. I am excited to not eat a Pop-Tart again for a while. My mom asked me that in a few mukbangs ago. I feel like if I don't eat another Pop-Tart until 2021, I'll be happy. Wait, hold on. I think the ice cream truck is here. I'll be right back. Hold on. Yeah. You know what? Just give me the whole box. Just give me the whole box. All right, thank you. All right, sorry about that. Guess what? The ice cream truck just drove by and they had Pop-Tarts brown sugar cinnamon ice cream bars. So we're gonna give these a try. Why not? Here, live on Facebook, the ice cream truck drove by. And what better place to try the brown sugar cinnamon ice cream bars than here live on Facebook. Alright. That's cold. That's cold. Alright. I'm not gonna lie. I would get it. If the ice cream truck actually did drive by, I'd be like, alright, I could get one of these. But I'd rather have a Ninja Turtle with bubblegum eyeballs. The cool thing about these is if you are worried about calories, only 140 calories per bar. So that's interesting. Oh, that's right, plot twist, plot twist. You never know. Sometimes the Pop-Tart mukbang is like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. You just never know what's coming next. Fairness is fact. Those are fire. I'm eating it too fast. I have really sensitive front two teeth, but like in the back, I can eat it. I can eat ice cream. Jason says put it in the toaster. That will be, I'm gonna have another one. That will be not the closest I've come to death with this toaster on this mukbang. All right. I've been fasting for 81 hours. I can eat as much ice cream for breakfast as I feel like. I really do like the crust around it. It's like the ice cream isn't doing it for me. It's just like kind of plain. My mouth's really cold now. All right. Yeah, I'm glad I tried these. They're fine. I'm not gonna go out of my way to get them again. The best way to eat ice cream for breakfast is on top of Eggos. I don't know if I've ever done that for breakfast. All right. We're going to move on to the next slide. So I want to tell you about a little bit about corn. Humans are corn's koala. This is a quote from an author, Michael Pollan. And I just want to talk a little bit about corn because it's destroying our bodies and our environment. And not the way that you think it might, because just like eating corn. If you want to eat full corn, go ahead. But I just want everybody to know that when I'm talking about eggs and I'm talking about other like processed foods, corn is what's going into a lot of these processed foods. We are growing so much corn and it's destroying our environment. And we use corn, we eat it, we feed it to our livestock, we sweeten all of our beverages with it. We put it in drugs and pharmaceuticals. We put in our cosmetics, we put in our cars as ethanol. We have mandated amounts of ethanol that needs to be in our gasoline. Koalas eat eucalyptus almost primarily, and we are becoming a species that is eating so much corn, especially here in America. It's not good for us. Let's look at just ingredients in Pop-Tarts. You have high fructose corn syrup, you have regular corn syrup, you have dextrose and lecithin. Those are both emulsifiers that keep all of the stuff inside of the Pop-Tart from separating. You have modified cornstarch, which is just a filler like that you put in with the wheat around the Pop-Tart itself to keep it, you know, to fluff it up. And it has citric acid in it as a preservative. That's 6 ingredients just in a Pop-Tart. The Pop-Tart's supposed to be, you know, wheat and fruit filling or chocolate filling. Here's another interesting item that has a ton of corn in it. Everybody's beloved chicken nugget. Chicken nuggets were invented in 1983 by Tyson for McDonald's. In 1983, beef was still king in America and all across the world. It was the #1 meat. Since then, since the invention of chicken nuggets, chicken has far surpassed beef as the #1 meat. A chicken McNugget from McDonald's has 13 different ingredients in it that are from corn. And so I haven't gone into like why it's so bad yet, but let's just say that when we found a way to preserve foods with corn by making the high fructose corn syrup, the citric acid, all the other additives we're putting into food, it gives food a longer shelf life, which means we don't have to produce as much food because we can just let it sit on the shelf, which means it's going to last longer. But all of those chemicals and everything we're putting into our body is not good for us. It makes food cheaper in the short run, but in the long run, with all of the heart disease and type 2 diabetes and other ailments that we're getting from our food, we're paying more for it in the long run with our health care. So it's just something as an American consumer we need to start thinking about how much corn is in each item that I'm buying, and then try not to buy so many processed foods. This is going to lead me into what I'm going to be talking about on the next slide, so just bear with me. It takes a lot. Now let's get into just the environmental stuff for 1 second. It takes a lot of fossil fuels to produce corn. The energy that we eat has to come from energy elsewhere. We are using it in tractors and in fertilizers and all over the agriculture business in America. We also normal farming practices, you rotate crops. So you maybe grow something that puts nitrogen into the ground, but takes something else out. And then you plant something different that takes nitrogen out of the ground, but puts the other thing in, such as soy and corn will do that for each other. You rotate it. But what we're doing in America right now, everywhere on I-70 between Pittsburgh and Denver, it's all cornfields, and we're just pumping nitrogen onto our ground to make sure that we can grow more corn, so that we can have more high fructose corn syrup, so that you can drink more Pepsi and more Coke and eat more Pop-Tarts. We need to stop that. Here's why. If you look it up, we have a huge dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico where fish and plants aren't able to grow because there is so much algae there. The algae comes from nitrogen runoff. If you think about from where all of our cornfields are, the runoff all goes into the Mississippi River and out into the Gulf of Mexico. So all of that nitrogen is feeding all the algae builds up and no sunlight can get in. So now all of our fishing ports in the Gulf of Mexico, where all these dead zones are, can't fish. Not to mention, they're saying we have about 50 years of fertile soil left. America had some of the most fertile soil anywhere in the world. That's part of why we became such a great nation. We were able to feed ourselves better and faster than any other country. We're almost out of fertile soil. This is something that I've been reading a lot about in The Omnivore's Dilemma by Michael Pollan. If you are interested in any of these topics, it's something I'm very passionate about. I would love to talk to you about any of them. I'm going to move on to the Pop-Tart playoffs. And we have the final four. Brown sugar cinnamon versus hot fudge sundae. We have s'mores versus raspberries. Fiona wants to know what drink selection we have today. We have chocolate milk, just like a 1% chocolate milk from the grocery store, which isn't as good as the Bruton Dairy. And we have the Martinelli's apple juice and a coffee in my Survivor mug. All right, so the first round, we're gonna have brown sugar cinnamon versus hot fudge sundae. There's a lot of discussion going on right now, and I know that a lot of my FastWilly fans have been talking to me a little bit about it. A lot of vegan, a lot of vegan proponents will say oh, the meat industry is destroying the world. But really, I think what it is a lot of the factory farming, which includes meat and includes corn. We are growing corn to be, it's sold as a commodity to all of the feedlots everywhere, and now we're feeding all of our beef and all of our chicken and all of our livestock with corn. And it is not the healthiest feed for our animals. They're all supposed to be grazing and eating grass. It's actually interesting, when the white people got to America, we called the natives corn people, but you can actually check on the carbon atoms inside of their bones, and you can tell that the carbon atoms from corn in their bones are about 40%, and corn atoms in our bones are much higher than the people that we called corn people when we first showed up. And when I'm white, so I say we, but you know what I mean. I don't want everybody out there to be like, yo, I didn't show up like that. Fiona asks, is there a way to rectify the damage that has been done by overproduction? You know what, I'm not sure. I think that the first step we need to do is just stop and not eat as much processed food. Which, so I don't have the answer to that. I'm not an expert on agriculture business. But, let me close this real quick. But, like I said, the first thing that we can do, there's still one thing of light coming through right on me. The first thing that we can do is stop eating so much processed food, which gets me to my next challenge. My next challenge is going to be a 30-day Viome challenge. I did Viome with my wife's family. That's where they send you a kit You take a poop, you send some of your poop back to them, and they analyze your gut microbiome. And they're looking for your mitochondrial health, as long as what microbes are in your digestive tract, and then they tell you which foods are best for you. Now, one thing that they're assuming here is that you are eating almost no processed foods. So after these Pop-Tarts in this 10,000 calorie day of eating, I am not going to be eating processed foods for the next month. I'm going to be eating all of the foods on my Viome list. It breaks them into 4 categories, which is your own superfoods. I don't want to use that as a buzzword that's like, you know, you see like goji berries and acai, and avocado, and like these are the superfoods. They break down your specific superfoods that are best for your body, and then they tell you other foods you can enjoy, then foods to minimize, and foods to eliminate. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. Or no, foods to avoid. So I'm going to be eating mostly foods that are on my superfoods list and enjoy list. I'm going to try every food that's on my superfood list. And if you want to see a longer breakdown of what I'm going to be doing, here are my Pop-Tarts: Hot Fudge Sundae, Brown Sugar Cinnamon. If you want to see a better breakdown of what I'm going to be doing, I posted an episode of Fast Track with John yesterday, where we set up the challenge, and I kind of gave everybody an overview. I'm also going to be releasing a video that shows my list of foods, and I'm going to get more in depth with kind of some of the science that's behind it. Like Brown Sugar Cinnamon, it's just like, does it get much better than that? We're going to find out. These 2 flavors truly earn their spots here in the Final Four. I mean, I did not have Hot Fudge Sundae on my radar. It was recommended to me. Like, I might, if nobody ever recommended Hot Fudge Sundae, I might not even have had it in my 20 flavors. Like, it was, I saw it in the store and it was never anything that I was like, oh yeah, I want to try that. But here I am. And it's good, and here they are. Who's going to win this? Ryan Boynes, welcome to the party. You missed ice cream. You missed me losing my mind about corn. You missed a chocolate churro flavor. I also want to welcome our newest FastWilly fan. I don't think he has a Facebook yet, so he can't watch himself, but I'm sure he's watching with his dad. I want to welcome in newest FastWilly fan, Ryder Boynes. Ryder, welcome to the FastWilly team. All right. Hot Fudge Sundae gave a good showing in this tournament, but it's just not enough to beat the Brown Sugar Cinnamon. So Brown Sugar Cinnamon is going to make the championship. I know, we all saw it coming, but when you're the number 1 seed, you're the number 1 seed for a reason. All right, we're going to move on to the next semi-final matchup, which is going to be s'mores versus raspberry. However, like an idiot, I gave my brother my last pack of raspberry Pop-Tarts when I went over to his house the other day. So I don't have a raspberry Pop-Tart. I just realized this 15 minutes before, but that is okay. That is okay. This is gonna be just like Little League when you don't have somebody, you bring up an alternate. And then the next best fruit flavor, which was in my raspberry box, is cherry. So cherry, judge's decision, is gonna get into the final four as an alternate. Jason, I hope you enjoy that raspberry Pop-Tart. I know what some of you are going to say, like, oh, this is rigged. But this is the thing. There was nobody backing raspberry, so I don't think there's anybody going to come on here and be like, oh, you needed to have raspberry in here. You need to go to the store and get some raspberry. I don't think so. If it was maybe like, I don't know, if it was s'mores that I ran out of, I would have had some people upset, like, what are you talking about? But there was nobody behind raspberry. So what I need you all to know is raspberry is a good fruit flavor. I actually do like cherry more. Raspberry got a better draw than cherry. All right, let's move on to the next slide. What have we learned? We've been through 7 Pop-Tart mukbangs. Let me know below in the comments, what have you learned from the mukbangs? Like I said, we're all here, we're learning something new every day. I learned that s'mores and hot fudge sundae Pop-Tarts are very good. I used to think like, oh, the chocolate fudge has it figured out. Why go to a different chocolate flavor? Chocolate fudge is way below s'mores. Chocolate fudge is way below hot fudge sundae. Sam says, I like raspberry and cherry. Both good flavors. They are truly, we had 10 fruit flavors, and raspberry and cherry are way above all the other ones. I know strawberry gets a lot of love in the Pop-Tart community, but not here in FastWilly's house. We don't want the strawberry anymore. From now on, if I'm getting fruit flavored Pop-Tarts, it's raspberry or it's cherry. Most likely to be cherry. So I think that it is fair that cherry's going to be here, so that's fine. Well, I'll start with what I've learned during the Pop-Tart mukbangs. And number one is the dessert flavors are way better than the fruit flavors. I never knew that coming into this, but I call them dessert. You know, the chocolate, the brown sugar cinnamon, that churro one was really good. And the fruit flavors just kind of disappointed. Especially the Fruit Loops, the strawberry milkshake, which again, I've been told I need to freeze one or refrigerate one. I'm not going to do that. I didn't think it earned the respect to even be tried for that, but maybe in the future I will. Ryan says, I've learned that you can put tongs in the toaster. That's right, Ryan. Absolutely. It's surprising. I think it surprised all of us. Another thing that I learned, or maybe some other people learned out there, because I already knew this, is you can leave your butter out. You don't need to put your butter in the fridge and then try to put it on to a bagel or something and it'd be rolling around everywhere because it's not room temperature. Like, make that room temperature. Let's leave it out. We're going to start with the cherry here. Ryan says, I learned that other countries don't refrigerate eggs. That is true, Ryan. And it's because once you refrigerate them, when you try to bring them back up to temperature, they can grow bacteria. So you either have to go one way or the other. And also, other countries, they give their chickens vaccines. So in America, we have to keep ours vaccinated. Also, that question a few days ago came in from Roberto. He also wanted me to tell you guys, he lives in Dublin. A 4-pack of Pop-Tarts in Dublin is €9. €9. I can tell you right now, I would not have tried 20 different flavors of Pop-Tarts if it cost me €9 per box. Oh, you're taking some of mine, Ryan. Here's something I learned from my mom after talking about this whole butter conversation. Well, like, I hate margarine, which comes from corn, so don't even get me started on all of that. Corn's killing us. Eat corn on the cob. Don't eat corn other ways. Eat corn from a can if you have to, but don't eat it as high fructose corn syrup. Don't eat it as lecithin. Don't eat it as citric acid. But this is what I learned from my mom. They used to buy margarine because margarine was like ridiculously more, like cheaper than butter. So I looked it up. 100% the truth. I had no idea. I have next on my list written over here, and Ryan said it below. We learn the subtle signs of hunger. Guys, it's easy. You don't have to fast for 81 hours. Just learn your hunger cues. If you have a little bit of a headache, you're hungry. If you're a little bit irritable, you're hungry. If you have trouble remembering something, you're hungry. If there's any inconvenience in your life whatsoever, you're hungry. If somebody knocks on your door, you're hungry. You get a phone call from an unknown number, and you pick up and they say, "Hello, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty." You're hungry. That's a subtle cue. Guarantee it. Alright. We know what's going on here. Cherry, good. S'mores, better. S'mores is going on. I'm not going to keep you guys waiting to figure that out. I'm going to eat these. I'm going to get a s'mores Pop-Tart and a brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart into the toaster. The toaster that almost killed me. And we're going to have the championship matchup. Megan got pregnant because she was hungry. Exactly. Like, I'm not even gonna go further into that. But like, if you're feeling like you need to get pregnant, you're probably just hungry. Where's s'mores at? There we go. All right, let's get these bad boys down in here. Cherry had a good run. Cherry was another big time surprise for me. I didn't think I was going to enjoy some of these Pop-Tarts as much as I did. Some of them were trash. Don't eat Fruit Loops. That's something I learned. Here's something else that's more important that I want to talk about right now. And that is, over this experience, you know, I said I was losing weight at this clip, at this clip, at this clip so fast. And I didn't track how fast I was losing weight in the spring, but I don't believe that I lost weight as fast during this challenge as I did during the spring. I'm getting the 12,000 calories, so I don't necessarily believe that that means that like calories are the end all be all, or fasting doesn't help you burn calories faster, or fasting helps like for calories not to matter. It's probably somewhere in the middle, and that's why I did this experiment. I wanted to see where my body would be at the end. Did I lose weight every cycle? 6 out of the 7 cycles, I lost weight over the previous cycle. Sam says, you look like you're struggling to get those down. Well, I'm just saving it up. I think I ate too many of those ice cream bars. I only should have ate 1 instead of 2, but that's okay. I am excited for all the Pop-Tarts to be done, though. I just want to eat good food. Like, I'm ready to get to a point. I'm going to be fasting tomorrow. I'm going to be fasting Monday. And then on Tuesday, I'm going to be eating just whole foods. They're on my superfood list. I'm very excited for it. That's the way I like to eat in general. So, and I feel like I'm better equipped to tell people not to eat processed foods if I'm not eating 5 packs of Pop-Tarts every day, every 4 days. That Martinelli's apple juice is delicious. Let me tell you. Alright, these need to go back in for like another half a minute. I'm not going to eat that brown sugar cinnamon how it is. Alright, we're going to turn this over. And finally, we are here at the last slide of the last Pop-Tart mukbang. And it is time to crown a Pop-Tart champion. Let me know in the comments. Is it going to be brown sugar cinnamon? Is it going to be s'mores? What do you want to see? Did somebody get screwed out of the championship? Should somebody else win? Kieran says we're about to eat chicken thighs every day. That's right. I've been telling you guys, thighs, thigh gang. Thigh gang. Can't wait. Dark meat chicken is one of my superfoods. I have been eating chicken thighs above chicken breast for the last 3 years, and it's like mind-blowing how much better they are. Fiona wants to know when I first became interested in nutrition. Well, it's interesting. It's an interesting question, and I would say, well, I've been like learning about what I'm putting in my body since a very young age. I was like an overweight kid when I was like 12 or 13, and I was interested in like, why is this happening to me? I was never able to like crack the code for myself, but I've been like learning a little bit as time went on. I took a nutrition class in college, which I really loved. And then just since then, it's been a topic that I've continued to learn about. I like, you know, podcasting wasn't really a thing back then, but now I listen to podcasts that talk about nutrition and things like that. Sam says Hot Fudge got screwed. Kieran says brown sugar cinnamon will be #1, but I think Fruit Loops got snubbed in the first round. Fruit Loops didn't make the first round. Fruit Loops did not get snubbed, trust me. Fruit Loops is counting its blessing that I ever paid $2 to take that pack off of the shelf and bring it home and give it the time of day that it got, because it did not deserve it. Beth says, I love me some chicken thighs. Heck yeah. Chicken thighs are the way to go. I can't wait to get there and start eating chicken thighs every day. All right. Look at these. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Speaking of when I was 12, I mean, we got the best here. We got Hot Fudge Sundae. We got brown sugar cinnamon. This is like if it's back in 2004, and I'm 14 again, and Kate Hudson and Eva Longoria just walked through the door and are like, hey, Will, what's going on? That's how excited I am to see brown sugar cinnamon and s'mores right here in the finals. So let's get started. Oh, here's the ticket. The brown sugar cinnamon, you have to toast it a little bit extra long. That's the way I love it. Actually, you don't have to. You can have it not toasted. That's how good it is. But for me, optimally, a little bit extra, a little bit. You see like a little bit of burn on the edges there. Not a lot, but a little bit. And the sugar down here, the high fructose corn syrup down here, it'll get a little bit dark, a little bit like crystallized. It's really good that way. Before this started, I went to Dunkin' and got Brenna some apple cider munchkins and some pumpkin spice munchkins. So, I'm not sure where she's at eating this, but she's mukbanging munchkins, I'm mukbanging Pop-Tarts. Ooh, ooh, the s'mores is good. A little bit toast, a little bit extra toast on the s'mores. It makes sense. Do you guys like when your marshmallow is burned on your s'mores? That's how we like them in this household. Yo, this is so good. How can you even decide? We have to have a winner though. I'm not going to leave you guys without a winner. This is brown sugar cinnamon. I'm eating them, going back and forth. I had a guy in my comments on Instagram last night that just found me, and he was like, bro, you're gonna die. I said, bro, why? He's like, you're gonna not eat for 3 days and eat 5 packs of Pop-Tarts. I said, why? I've been doing it for 27 days, bud. I got 10 hours left. As long as I wake up tomorrow, I'm not gonna die. Fiona says this munchkins is so good. I want to try an apple cider one. I've never tried one. I'm not a big pumpkin donut fan. It's hard to mukbang these. They're so hot. If it ain't on fire, it's not done. Are you talking about the marshmallow, or are you talking about the Poptart? Alright, let's get these in. I like how s'mores has the it goes like marshmallow chocolate, marshmallow chocolate, marshmallow chocolate. This is for you. Oh no! Alright, so my camera stopped recording. Right at the end, it ran out of memory. So, I'm going to tell you who the winner of the Pop-Tart playoffs were. But first, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe, like this video, give it a thumbs up. Alright, the winner of the Pop-Tart playoffs, S'mores. S'mores wins. I am so surprised by this. I am a huge brown sugar cinnamon fan, and I did not expect the S'mores Pop-Tarts to come from out of nowhere. I've never had one before. And from out of nowhere, suggested by my friend Sally, my friend Ray, my Uncle Jeff, all said s'mores, and they were right before the tournament even started. If you go back and watch the second mukbang, you could see my eyes just light up when I had my first bite of s'mores, and they carried it all the way through to the end and won the matchup with brown sugar cinnamon. Thank you all so much for watching this ridiculous experiment. My recap of the 28-day challenge will be posted within the next 2 or 3 days, and I'm moving into my next challenge, which you guys have heard about a little bit. If you haven't seen that, that's the Fast Track episode 4 with John, where we talk about the challenge that's upcoming. And again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.